Hello, REDLO women. How are you today? This is going to be a very different episode. Every now and again, I hop on here and just have a conversation that's just kind of raw and unfiltered, and sometimes I just call it my REDLO rant. So that's very likely what it's going to be here today. I haven't even decided if I'm going to upload my intro and the music and the whole thing. It might just be me having a quick conversation with you just to encourage you. I'm standing here with my warm cup of coffee and recording inside of Riverside, and I'll share why. And so I just want to encourage you, especially as a woman and as an entrepreneur, we all have weeks where shit goes sideways, right? And it's been that kind of a week for me. So if you've had that kind of a week or a day or a month or whatever, I want to encourage you because I think A, we need to support each other, and B, I want you to feel encouraged that you're not alone. And it's just the journey. It's the journey of an entrepreneur, isn't it? So this past week, actually, I was getting ready to upload a podcast episode, actually episode 146 that I was so excited for with my friend Roxanne Hardenberg. And if you haven't listened to it, I highly encourage you to listen to it. She's just a powerhouse and a health hacker. And it's a great episode. So listen to that. But as I was in the middle of uploading it, all of a sudden my computer screen just went black. Boom, lights out, no warning, just done. And in that moment, I said all the expletives, like, we all do, right? Nothing can make me more frustrated than tech going sideways. And then if you're an entrepreneur or, work on your computer, you know what this feels like, right? We are so dependent now on our devices. And when things go sideways, it causes a lot of stress, some unnecessary and some necessary, right? So I just had to take a beat and just say, okay, what's next? So I figured out that I had the Spotify for Creator app on my iPhone. So here's a big shout out to Spotify. If any of you are considering doing a podcast, I just have to give a shout out to them because this is the benefit of AI and the cloud and the connection that we have. So I clicked on there and it had actually saved that episode. So because it was in the process of uploading. And so, woohoo, I was so excited. And I was able to go in and then finish uploading, write the description, do it all from my phone. So that was really a win. That was a big, powerful win. And why I love these larger platforms because they are really equipped and stay updated and current. And it's why they're leading in the industry. So just that's that. If you're considering doing a podcast, there we go. Excited for that. Secondly, I realized I just had to take a beat. I took my computer in to the tech hospital. They told me the motherboard was fine. It hadn't crashed. They backed up my data. And I think 4 days later, I got my computer back, came home. And then yesterday, was ready to get on the Zoom call with my husband. He's launching his course, his Investing Simplified course. I think this is the fifth time he's done it, and it's his big launch. And for those of you that don't know, I do all the back end stuff for him on that. I do all the tech. I am in the chat. I help him with all the tech stuff. So I do all the slides, all the things. And just as I was getting ready to go on, my computer screen went black again. So, what do we do in those moments, right? Again, I was really stressed, but decided to use my iPhone again and got on Zoom. Couldn't do what I normally would do, but it was enough that we could get through that first session. And it just made me realize that this is the journey, right? This is the journey of life. We have interruption, we have disruption, we have things where shit goes sideways. And what do we do in those moments, right? We can panic, or we can pause and figure out how to solve the problem because life is messy, right? Such a great analogy for how life is. It's not a straight path. It's windy. We hit these speed bumps, detours, dead ends, and sometimes we're under construction, right? So things happen. And I want to encourage you because that was my week. It was just a moment of, okay, what's next, right? And we are so dependent on these devices now that, I think we have to stay, what do I want to say? I think we have to stay present. I guess when I think about this, I mean, we're also dependent on these devices now, especially when we are entrepreneurs or solopreneurs working from our home, right? We all we are just dependent on our computers. And I think this is, like I said earlier, it's a shout out to AI. I'm so grateful now that a lot of these applications are stored in the cloud. I was able to log back on and get into my Canva, into my Zoom, into all these applications that I use. They're no longer stored in a hard drive on your computer. And that's such a win. It's such a positive. But when things go sideways, I think it's also like a moment just to pause and see where we are, like emotionally and spiritually. For me, I love, love, love what I do. I can work 24/7. Seriously, I love it that much. But at the same time, I think, okay, what an interesting coincidence that my computer went black, like lights out, right? Sometimes we hit that place spiritually and emotionally where we just need to pause, right? We need to just take a pause and rest. And for those of you that, if you know about my book, Step Forward, I talk about the 10 shoes that I needed to step into in order to step forward with my life, and I still use those. They're each shoe has a personality, but each shoe is a metaphor, right? So sometimes we have to step into those battle boots because we're battling something, and we have to find that courage to step forward. We have to walk through the muck of it all, of that disruption or that interruption. And sometimes we have to reach down and put on those courageous cowboy boots, right? Find the courage to keep moving forward. And sometimes we've got to step into those tenacious tennis shoes and find, that perseverance to keep going when we feel like we want to quit or say, is any of this worth it? Right? All those things that we do, we have to find that grit to keep moving forward. And then we also have to step into our flexible flip flops, right? And be flexible and adapt and figure out how to solve the problem. Because being an entrepreneur and just in life, things are going to happen, right? How do we learn how to keep going when it's not a perfect, straight, open highway, right? And then also to step into those self-care slippers, and especially as we're stepping into this holiday weekend, what a great time just to pause and rest, take care of yourself. For me, I'm not great at this. I'm very open about this. I am the worst at taking care of myself. I can get so focused on what I'm doing that I forget a lot of things to take care of myself, right? I've got to make sure I'm exercising and eating properly and getting decent sleep, all those things. And I want to encourage you too if you're in that place. So, like I said, sometimes this is just life. Like things happen and life shuts down on you. We get this interruption, this disruption. And what do? The tech fails, our energy fades, we get tired, the path goes foggy, like I was just describing. And sometimes we just get overwhelmed. We get tired, we get worn out. And when this happens, we're faced with a choice, right? Do we stop? Do we give up? Or do we keep moving forward? Do we keep stepping forward? And that's where our grit and our perseverance and our courage and our tenacity and our flexibility and our resilience lies. And that really is the secret to being an entrepreneur. And I've shared before, I grew up in an entrepreneurial family, so having a brick and mortar store, but still having that entrepreneurial experience, I know what it's like to ride the highs and lows. It doesn't mean it's easy, but I know what that's like. And I just heard Ed Milet this past week say something so powerful. He said, what do you do in those hard days? What do you do when things go sideways? Because this is truly the journey of an entrepreneur, right? The successful entrepreneurs understand that you have to keep moving forward. And what do you do when they go sideways? What can you do to focus on today? What can you do to hold on for one more day, to make one more decision, to take one more action? And then also to pause. And one of the things that he said that was really great is don't ever make a decision when you're emotional. And that really applied to me this week with my computer. I just had to get it in. And then I just had to take a pause and not make any decisions. Let's see what happens. If they can fix it, if I can get it back and it's going to work, great. If they salvage it, awesome. If not, plan B, time to buy a new computer, right? And so, um, ironically, what I actually did, I had an old iMac that I was able to plug in. And so I can use that and do some of my document work on there where I can actually see and get into Canva and things like that. It's really outdated for Zoom, but I can do other things. So that was also part of me being a little bit more resilient and gaining that mental toughness. So I just want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to step forward, take one more step for today, make one more healthy decision for you. If you need to pause and just rest during this holiday week, do that. If you need a new computer, like me, go get your new computer. But entrepreneurship is really the long game. And we all have challenges and things that we're dealing with, right? It's not an easy path. And we just keep stepping forward one step at a time. And I say that the REDLO woman doesn't wait for perfect. She just keeps moving forward. And my goal is to always help you and empower you to reclaim your confidence, embrace your voice, define your path, lead with courage, and own your space. And just like for me, when my screen went black, it's time to pause and figure out, okay, what's next? Where am I headed next? How am I going to solve this problem? Right? How am I going to overcome this? Am I going to let this derail me and frustrate me and take me down a negative path? Or am I just going to pause and rest, use this time to rest, and then make a new decision? Who knows? Might be time for a brand new computer, which will be even better, right? So if you're in that place of indecision, if you're in that place of frustration, maybe your career isn't going the way you want. Maybe you want to step forward and start a podcast or start an online business or pivot in some way. I'm here for you. That's what I do. I help you move forward and show up online, believe in yourself, take that courageous action. And none of us ever arrive in this midlife without having some battle scars, having had to step in our battle boots and move forward. It's actually such a gift and a strength, and it makes us who we are. We all have our experience when things didn't go the way we want, when we had to take those detours in life, when we had to pivot, shift to a new career, maybe a relationship failed. Whatever it is, it's made you who you are today. And actually, that is the launch pad for what's next for you. And as I've said so many times, our experience is incredibly valuable. What we've learned to get past those hard things, to step beyond our transitions in life and overcome a really difficult situation is what makes us really powerful and what makes a perfect platform for you to step forward and launch a business. And as many of you know, the knowledge industry has grown exponentially. Don't know the data off the top of my head, but it's going to continue to grow. And that's this online e-education. People want to learn from real humans who have had an experience and gotten on the other side of it. It doesn't matter anymore just about the level of college degrees that you have. People want to learn from people. And even with AI has its own wonderful, powerful benefits. I just did a whole um, thing actually on LinkedIn about this, that AI is amazing and it's wonderful in so many ways, but it can never replace human connection. And we can use AI just like, with the cloud and the storage and programs and getting organized and all these things to save us time in our business. But AI can never replace human connection. And so that's needed even more today. So if you're anywhere in the space trying to figure out what to do, I'm here to help you move forward and to take your idea and to bring it forward. And I just want to encourage you just to keep moving forward. Believe in yourself, believe in your idea, believe in what's next. And even when shit goes sideways, there's a reason for it. We can all pause, take a beat, and learn from it, right? It's a lesson to have more courage to move forward, to have resilience to rise up and keep stepping forward, to pause and take care of ourselves, to step into those flexible flip flops and go have some fun and be flexible and adapt and be a little bit more playful in that moment, which is what I need to do as well. And just know that you can find the courage to step forward and make a new decision after the emotions calm, right? Calm down and know that I'm here for you. And what I've learned is that there's such power in connection. We all need each other, right? And I'm starting the REDLO Women's Circle, which will launch in September. It's in beta right now. And I am creating a community for women who want to move forward, who need this connection with one another, to bounce ideas off, to network. And my goal is to have guest speakers and then also teach you some of the things that I've learned along the way. And it will be a monthly membership, really, it is what it's going to be. And for you to connect with other women, I think there's such a need for this. So let's keep stepping forward. Know that you are seen, you are heard, you are loved, you are valued, and you belong. God bless.